The new twist in that murder case made famous by the popular podcast Serial. Less than 2 months after convicted killer Adnan Syed was granted a new trial, 2 new witnesses have now come forward raising questions about his alibi. ABC's Ryan Smith is here with the latest. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, George. Adnan Syed got what all criminal convicts hope for but rarely see, a new trial. But with alibi witness Asia McClain set to take center stage in his attorney's fight to set him free, 2 of her classmates from nearly 2 decades ago accusing McClain of lying just to prove Syed's innocence. It's the murder case that captivated millions with the podcast Serial.
Adnan Syed.
The story of Adnan Syed, convicted for allegedly killing high school ex-girlfriend Hae Min Lee, a crime he insists he didn't commit. Thousands rallying to his defense. A Baltimore judge ordering a new trial in June.
The conviction is erased.
But this morning, Syed's star alibi witness's story cast in doubt.
I was sitting in the library bored to tears, and someone walked in that I knew.
Asia McClain testified at Syed's hearing requesting a new trial, saying she was in the library with him when Lee was being killed. But this morning, according to documents filed by prosecutors this week, McClain's account is being called a flat-out lie. 2 of her former classmates say in a high school conversation, McClain told them she believed so much in Adnan's innocence, she would make up a lie to prove he couldn't have done it. Those classmates engaging in a testy exchange with McClain on Facebook, saying, "You know darn well you never saw him at that library." To continue with this story 17 years later is disgusting. McClain replying, "Wow, this is crazy. I'm not lying about any of this." The now 34-year-old Syed, sentenced to life in prison at 19, spending almost half his life in jail.
I had no reason to kill her.
His new trial granted on different grounds, but the judge questioning why Syed's defense lawyer in 1999 never contacted McClain, a major plot point in Serial.
If there was some technicality, something that would prove his innocence, great, you know.
But I think Asia, like, you might be that technicality.
McClain's lawyer telling ABC News the classmates' allegations are bizarre and wholly factually untrue. McClain herself taking to Twitter, "What can I say? They say I'm a liar. I say I'm not." McClain also tweeting that she thinks the state wants to discredit her because she presents a problem for their case. Now, Syed's lawyer says the classmates' statements have no bearing on the granting of a new trial for his client. Syed remains in prison while prosecutors are appealing the ruling, George.
Okay, Ryan, thanks very much. Let's talk to Dan Abrams, Nancy Grace about that. And let's pick up on that last point first. The decision to grant a new trial was not based on these new witnesses. So is the new trial definitely going forward?
No, not definitely going forward. So the prosecution is appealing it. When you have a legal ruling like this, is the only time when prosecutors can actually appeal. They're appealing this decision for a new trial. And sure, as a technical legal matter, it doesn't really matter because the ruling from the court below relied on something else, cell phone tower data. But the fact that there are now questions about the star alibi witness has inevitably got to seep into this appeal. And most importantly, if there is a new trial, this is Syed's star witness.
Well, yeah, I want to take that to Nancy. I mean, if this does go to trial, Nancy, pretty devastating, isn't it?
It is devastating, and I want to remind everybody that while the cell phone records are what the judge grants the motion for new trial on, the defense is also appealing the decision, saying it should have been granted because of the alibi witness, Asia McClain, who coincidentally is trying to make money off this case, and her book that's for sale on Amazon, Confessions of a Serial Alibi. She's gone on TV, she's gone on podcasts, she's taken to Twitter. She's selling a book. That's not going to help anything at all. But back to the facts, I think the cell phone tower issue is the main issue. But these 2 sisters, did you look at what they said? Their statement is so rich in detail and has been corroborated that they were there at Woodlawn High School in a co-op class with Asia McClain, the alibi witness, and have this argument. So it's basically 2 against 1. Now, is this a popularity contest? Yeah. 2 against 1? No. But will it destroy her alibi? Yes.
Yeah, and remember, there are 2 separate questions here, right? One is this sort of the legal machinations as we work our way through the appeal. And the other is, let's assume he gets a new trial. She's supposed to be his star witness. This is devastating.
And if she's shown to be lying, could she
I can't wait for them to bring that book out at trial.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's going to face being prosecuted for, perjury or anything like that. But I think that when it comes to the trial itself, because look, the public that's been watching Serial, right? There's a whole group of people who think Adnan is innocent.
Even the
judge. And he's finally going to get his day now. And finally, the world is going to see he's not guilty. Except that even if he gets this new trial, this information is going to be a real problem for him at trial.
And
Dan Abrams. Dan Abrams.
Yes,
Dan,
Nancy, right there.
I know
Yeah.
you're going to disagree with me, but I just want to remind everybody that in the car, the victim's car, who nobody's mentioning, her name is Haley. She's dead. She was a little high school girl. In her car was the map book with Adnan Syed's print on it. The page of the map where her body was found was torn out of that map book. His fingerprints on the map. And not only that, they had just broken up. He wouldn't let her go. She had a new boyfriend. She wrote him a letter, "Let me go." And on that letter, Adnan Syed writes, "I will kill." Who else killed her?
Look, well, the only other person I think realistically could have killed her would be the other person in this story, which is Jay, right? The one that's talked about so much. So, because he's the one who actually brings them to the car. Right. So you have to either believe, I think it was either Jay or Adnan.
So you don't really disagree with her that much.
But what would his motive be?
No.
He didn't have a dog in the fight.
Look,
I mean, no motive, nothing. Plus, he goes to police.
Yeah.
That's what I'm putting out there.
I don't.
Well, we're going to end in agreement today. Okay.